Rifle season is coming here in Pennsylvania, and today we're getting ourselves sighted in. Winchester was kind enough to send us some ammo and some really cool targets, which my son doesn't know about. He's gonna love these. So we're coming out on this cold, windy day to sight in our rifles and get ready for gun season. So let's do it, because it's cold and windy. I don't want to take too long. Cold enough? Yeah. It is so cold. Get comfy. You're gonna be too. It is so cold and so windy today, but I don't have another day to do this, so we got to get this done today. So what we're gonna do is, we got a lead sled here. I'll have links for all the equipment we use in today's video. I shoot my guns in sitting in a lead sled to make sure that the guns are dead on and I'm not changing things. Then you remove the sled and you shoot yourself to make sure you're good and straight. I have my rangefinder so that I can make sure we're shooting for 100 yards and then 200 yards down the line to make sure we're just perfectly on. Winchester sent us a box of great stuff for sighting in guns. Thank you to our friends at Winchester who sent us this. I know it's upside down, but it says handle with care this side up. So let's pop her open. A gun care set, 68 piece. That is awesome for when I have to adjust my scope, clean my guns. Thank you. 51 piece screwdriver set. That's gonna work great for adjusting the scopes and dialing things in today. You still with me?
Yeah.
You too cold? Today I'm shooting my 270 and my 308. Those are the calibers of the rifle. My 270 is what I call my brush gun. That's what I walk through the woods with, kind of crawl through the brush. It's a little easier to handle. The scope doesn't zoom in quite so far, but it works good for kind of walking around the woods and shooting deer. If I'm at a spot where I can see really far and I got like a sniper shot at a deer, 300 yards, I use my 308. That's more of a straight shooting gun. Winchester sent us some ammunition to try out. We have some 270, 150 grain long range expedition ammo. We're gonna give that a shot today. 270, 130 grain deer season XP. I also have some deer season copper impact XP for the 308. I think today we're gonna try maybe these two. I'm not sure yet. Maybe we'll shoot them all and see what looks best downrange. Now, the thing I think you're gonna love, I brought my son up today even though it's so cold. We got him in his 22 so he can have some fun shooting. And look at what you're gonna have fun shooting today.
What? Wow, cool.
Oh, upside down. What do you think?
Cool.
We got some deer targets. When you hit them in the vitals, you get a nice big orange burst. If you miss the vitals, you get white. So it'll be good to teach my son where you want to take your shots on the deer. You gonna have fun with that?
Yeah.
We're on our shooting range. This is a 400 yard shooting range. Today we're gonna really be working on 100, maybe 200, but I don't think we'll even do 200. It's too dang cold. We'll just make sure we're dialed in for 100 yards. That's all I ever shoot in the field anyway. Now my gun is shooting a little bit high at 100 yards. I like that. Just a little bit high at 100 means we'll be dead on for 200, which is actually what I like my rifles that I hunt with to be sighted into. So now I know when I'm out this season, if I see a deer at 100 yards, I can aim just a hair low. And actually, I mean, I can aim dead on and it still would do plenty of damage to take care of the deer. When you're shooting, make sure you have ear protection and eye protection for everyone nearby. Of course, gun safety, making sure you always got the gun pointed in a safe direction is of utmost importance. I've already taught my son gun safety. We've shot many times. Today, we're just up here checking our guns to see if they're shooting in. And my son's gonna get to have some fun on these deer season targets. The 270, 130 grain are hitting too high. I'm really glad I checked this on a deer target, because what looked okay downrange on the crosshairs is just looking too high for me on the actual deer target. So this is one of those times where it's good to get an actual deer target out there like what we're doing now and really see what downrange, what it looks like. Now it's not a life-size target, so if I'm in an 8-inch pie plate area, I'm okay. But still, I'd like to tighten it up a little bit. So I'm gonna shoot the 150 grain, and after that I'm gonna dial this in for a little bit more accuracy right on at 100, because I don't have very many long shots.
Fire in the hole.
That's a dead deer. That was a lung shot. That's a dead deer. Perfect shot.
Thanks.
That was, my son just put a perfect heart shot on a nice buck. That was a good shot, bud.
Thanks.
Nice work. I got my 270 shooting. It's still shooting just a hair high, but that's what I want. I want a little bit high, maybe an inch or two high at 100 yards. It was shooting too high for what I was seeing downrange. So now we got it really tightened up. It's just a hair high, and meanwhile my son's doing really good, he's getting some good dead deer shots. So let's watch him some more.
We're in the hole.
There's another dead deer.
Right away.
Yeah, definitely. That's a long shot. Now it's time to sight in the 308. This is a lot straighter, lot more long distance, straight shooting rifle. I call it my sniper rifle. If I want to shoot past 100 yards, I'm gonna take this out. I take this gun out in the field when I have a really long distance shot. It's got a much more powerful scope on it, which is good for long distance shooting, but it's also a bit more unwieldy going through thick brush, trying to shoot offhand. So if I'm going to sit in a tree stand overlooking 200 yards, the 308 comes out, and we're gonna be shooting the deer season copper impact 150 grain. If I'm walking through the woods, kind of still hunting, going scouting, you know, looking for a new spot on public land, and I'm walking a lot, if I'm kind of going from spot to spot on a ridge, then I'm going to take the 270. It's a lot easier of a gun to walk and hunt with. It's good to have your long distance shooter, and it's good to have your brush gun. So now we're going to make sure the 308 shooting good out to 100. Bam! That baby is on. Beautiful. Nothing to do to that one, that's for sure.
My fingers are getting cold.
Yeah, it happens. Okay, you go ahead.
Fire in the hole.
Good. All right, my turn. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Fire in the hole.
All right. As sort of like a blaster sound.
Yeah, you like that?
At the end.
Now this rifle has a dial on the top
Can I go?
that I can adjust in the field.
Can I go?
Yep, you go ahead. So I can adjust it from 100 to 200 and just shoot the crosshairs, which is really nice.
Fire in the hole.
Yep.
Another great shot.
Nice, you're really hammering those deer. All right, my son got a little too cold. I got to take a couple more shots without the bench to make sure I'm good downrange and for actual deer season. And then we'll head back in because it is freezing. This thing was great. Link in the description below. All right, that last shot was a pretty good one. I think I'm pretty good with this gun. I got about a 4-inch grouping, and 4-inch grouping on a real deer is going to be just fine. So this 308's looking good. Time to check the 270. Oh yeah, That was a perfect shot with the 270. I love shooting the 270. This is just a great gun. That was a dead deer. Dead. Boy, it's tough to beat this 270. That thing is just a straight shooting gun. It fits me right, it points well. This is my go-to for killing deer. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be using opening morning, most likely. Unless I got a lot of visibility, in which case I'll go with the 308, but this gun just works good. All right, I'm cold, time to get inside. Check in next week. We will have opening day, and hopefully you will see some venison on the ground. Make sure that life isn't awful on the winter, so we'll have a lot of good tips and tricks in this video about winterizing your barn.
Whether we like it or not, winter's on its way. In tomorrow's episode of Homesteady, we're going to show you everything we do to prepare for winter and watering our animals. Lots of tips and tricks we've developed over the last 10 years of homestead life. Sharing all that with you tomorrow. You can watch that as soon as you wake up tomorrow morning. Just head over to our channel and find our latest video. If you like our videos, don't forget you can support us by doing your Amazon shopping through our link. If you're in Canada, the United Kingdom, or Australia, we now have that set up over at thisishomesteady.com. Up in the menu, click on Amsteady, and it will forward you on to Amazon for your own country. And if you're in the United States, just type in amsteady.com and it will forward you there, or click on this link. We appreciate your support in helping our show through shopping through our Amazon link.